Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Arian. I am photo retoucher and you can learn, make and create together with me. So today I'm going to show you how you can edit a beauty portrait step by step using my actions. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first thing first, this portrait needs to be clean, and for cleaning we're going to use clean and black and white help layer action. I'm just gonna click play. And as you can see, we have the clean layer and the black and white help layer. So for cleaning, we are going to use spot healing brush and patch tool. I'm just gonna zoom in here in the forehead and turn off the black and white help layer right now because we have some colors in the portrait, as you can see. And I will start cleaning with spot healing brush tool. I have to mention that I'm using Wacom Intuos Pro S for retouching. And if you want to get the raw file, please check the Telegram channel. Link is in the description. Also, if you want to get these actions, all the links are in the description. Recently, I have made a retouching pack, which you can find with the name of Happy Holidays or something like that. I made it for the new year, so it's limited. You can get all these retouching actions that I'm using right now in this video tutorial. And now that we are done with cleaning, as you can see just a little before and after, it's time for some frequency separation and dodge and burn. So I'm just gonna click Control and click here, right click and merge layers into one. Now go to frequency separation, click play. And for the right radius of this portrait, we have to slide this into the left to 0.1 and zoom in into the texture where we have some pores. So I'm just gonna slide this into the right until the pores or the texture of the portrait will disappear, as you can see. And I think that 8 is enough, and click OK. After we do that, as you can see, we have the FS Plus group layer here. Click here to open the group, and we have low frequency and high frequency. Low frequency is the color and high frequency is the texture. So we are going to work on the low frequency with a mixer brush. For the right settings of the mixer brush that I'm using for the moment on this portrait, for the wet we are going by 10, load 45, mix 55, and flow by 33. So I'm gonna turn off the high frequency because we can see some things a little bit better when they are blurry, and we are going to mix the skin tones just like this. We can turn on the black and white help layer to see what we are doing in the portrait. As you can see, a before and after. We have just removed that kind of yellow color on the forehead, and it's not totally removed because it's still on the high frequency. You have to be careful because you don't want to destroy the freckles of this portrait. I am doing that right now, but I will remove some color with a layer mask after I am done in the low frequency. Let me just show a before and after what we've done so far, and I think it's starting to look good. Now keep working with the mixer brush until you have the best skin tones for your portrait. As I said before, check all the links in the description because they contain the actions and the raw file. Usually when I get the raw files for free in some websites, I put them in my Telegram channel. So be sure to check all the links down in the description. Let's check out before and after what we've done so far in the low frequency. And I think that is looking good. Now we have to work on the legs just a little. Turn on the black and white help layer and just mix the skin tones on them. Also, if you enjoyed this video tutorial, please don't forget to leave a subscribe if you didn't already. Leave a comment down below and drop some likes for the algorithm. Also, let me know if I'm understandable or not, because English is my secondary language. Let me check a before and after. And I think that is looking okay. And I think that we are done with the low frequency. Let's just check a before and after of this entire process. I think it's looking okay. Now for the high frequency or the texture, we are going to use clone stamp tool, and clone stamp tool works this way. You have to copy and paste the texture. To copy, you have to click Alt keyboard, hold it, and click here and paste it here, as you can see. Be careful when you're using clone stamp tool in high frequency that you don't want to copy the, for example, texture here and paste it here, because it will create a mess. So be careful when you're using clone stamp tool. As you can see, we still have some yellow color here, and I think that, let me just check only the texture, and it's not in the texture, so it's still in the low frequency. So we are going to use mixer brush just a little to clean this mess. And I think that it's gone for the moment. I hope it doesn't show at the end. I'm just joking, because it won't. Now check a before and after. You have to check a before and after every time when you're retouching, because when you're in the zoom in, you may not see some details. For example, you can destroy your portrait and you will overdo your retouching, so be careful when you're doing that. And I think that we are done also in the high frequency, because this portrait is incredible and doesn't need that much touch, as you can see. And I think that we have done something wrong here, and we are going to put a mask here, sorry, and with a black color brush with 100% opacity, I'm just gonna paint it here, and this way we will remove what we have done in the high or in the low, and it's gone. Now add some dodge and burn to the portrait. Click dodge, click play, click burn, and click play. We are going to zoom in just a little and turn on the black and white help layer. With a white brush and 20% opacity, I'm just gonna put some dodge into this amazing portrait. Now let's just check a before and after of the dodge, and I think that is looking okay. Now I'm just gonna reduce this just a little, because I think that 100% is way too much. Now click on the burn, and for the burn I'm just gonna burn the cheeks just a little. I have been using this method for almost like 10 years for dodge and burn, and it's looking okay. Now if you want to enter the layer mask here, you have to click Alt keyboard and click here on the, and as you can see, this is the what we've done in the burn. So I'm just gonna go to filter, blur, and blur this just a little, because the lines are too harsh. Click OK. To go back, click Alt again, click here, and as you can see, a before and after. So 100% is obviously way too much, so I'm just gonna go by 65, something like that, and check a before and after of this entire process. I think it's okay. Now click on the burn, burn, it's the background, and hold Shift keyboard, click here, right click and group this, rename Retouch, make a copy of the Retouch, right click and merge in the group. As you can see, before and after what you've done. Just zoom in. We still have the freckles and the texture, so click Ctrl A for selecting all this document, Ctrl C, go to File, New Document, Create, and Ctrl V for, and merge this into one. Now because I did this because we are going to use some eyes and lips settings. So if you want to work with the makeup artist retouching actions, you have to do this, because we only need one layer in the window, which is the background, for the actions to work perfectly. So I'm just going to go to I plus, click play, and open the folder of the group. And as you can see, we have the remove veins with a white brush, 100% opacity. I'm just gonna paint it here, do this in both of them, but we cleaned the eye earlier, so 100% is way too much. I'm just gonna go by 35, click on the brightening, and paint on the white of the eyes, and reduce this too. Click on the eyeball lightening and paint it just like this. Reduce this too, because 100% is way too much. And for the contours, let's just zoom out and reduce this too. Now click on the folder, hold shift and merge layers. Now click on the smoky eyes, click play. Now click on the eyeshadows, pick a color and zoom in with the white brush and 100% opacity. I'm just gonna paint it like this by making them darker, but obviously it's way too much. I'm just gonna go by 22 and click on the mascara, and with the 100% brush, I'm just gonna paint it on the eyelashes. And this one is way too much. Now check a before and after and reduce this by 20, I guess. And they looking okay. Now zoom in with the eyeshadows that says pick color. We are going to pick a color with the eyedropper and pick this color and start painting by making the makeup look even better. Now pick the other color, which is kind of purple, and paint it around the eyes. Pick this kind of green or blue color, something like that, and make them look even better. I'm gonna copy this color again and paint it on the other side. These actions, the makeup artist retouching actions, are really nice for the makeup artist. As you can see, you can create some nice colors even if you don't have in the portrait. For example, you can go with the color something like, I don't know, maybe orange. Use the brush, and as you can see, you will create some nice eye effects, but 100% is way too much, obviously, as you can see. But you can reduce this and make the makeup in Photoshop. So we are done with the eyes. Now just make a copy of background, hold shift, click here, merge layers into one again. Now click here on the lips that says dodge and burn, or DB, because it's the dodge and burn of the lips. And as you can see, pick lips color, dodge. So we are going to use the lip color for dodge and burn. And we are going to dodge lips just a little and reduce the opacity because it's way too much. Now click here that says pick lips color burn. So we are going to pick a darker color of the lips and just paint it like that. Now zoom out, and as you can see, 100% is way too much, so I'm just gonna go by 12 and merge these layers into one. Click here that says lips glow, click play, zoom in, and with a 100% white brush, just paint it on the lips. Now check a before and after in the zoom out. This one is looking okay, but always reduce the opacity and merge the layers again. Click here that says soft lips, click play, and wait until this process is done. Now zoom in and just paint over the lips. This action is to make them soft, as you can see, but we are going to reduce the opacity of these actions every time. Now that we are done with the eyes and the lips, we are going to copy this and paste it here on the original document. As you can see, a before and after what we have done so far. And if you think that makeup settings are way too much, you can always lower the opacity of that, as you can see. And I think that I'm gonna stick with the 50% and merge this into one. Now check a before and after of this entire process. And I think for the backdrop or the background, I'm gonna remove that white. I'm gonna turn that background into white or different color. So first I have to make a selection of the subject or the model and separate them. So I'm just gonna create a selection with the pen tool. So for the right radius, I'm just gonna click make selection here. I'm gonna go by 3% and Control Shift I to invert this and Control and J to make copy of the selection, as you can see. Now I'm gonna go to the hue saturations and we have the yellow color here, so I'm just gonna turn off that, go to yellows and slide the saturations to the left and create a clipping mask here just for the layer we have created. As you can see, it's kind of looking not that good, but I'm gonna go by 60%, something like that. You can go to curves and make it a little bit darker, as you can see, but it doesn't look that good. So I'm just gonna delete that one and click here on the selected color and go to the white and apply this until we find some good color for that backdrop or background. I'm just gonna double click here and play with the settings, and as you can see, this kind of color, I think it fits, but I don't know. And boom, I think this one is really cool. So I think that I'm gonna stick with this green, something like that, but we have to go to this layer, which is the backdrop or background. So I'm gonna add some more here because it's kind of, I don't know what to say. We have to blur it just a little, go to filter, blur and Gaussian blur and make the edges really soft. I'm gonna go by 5 and make the edges, as I said, just a little bit blurry. Now turn on the settings. As you can see, a before and after of the background, and I think that is looking really nice. So here before and after all this entire process. Now that we are done with the retouch, I'm gonna just group this and make another copy, merge the group. As you can see, a before and after of what we have done so far in this portrait. Now that we are done with the retouch, it's time for the color grade. So I'm just gonna go to the color grade white skin, and again I'm gonna copy this document and paste it here because the color grades work fine only with the single layer, which is background. So I'm gonna play all of them one by one until I find the best color grade for this portrait. So I'm gonna stick with the CG3 and CGA1. So I'm just gonna drag and drop this settings into the original file, turn off this, and go to the CGA1 and drag and drop this into the original file. Put this under and open the color grade settings. I'm gonna check them one by one until I have the best color grade settings. As you can see, before and after of the CGA1, I think it's looking really nice, but I'm gonna go by 50% of this one and click on the CG4, check all the settings one by one. Now check out before and after of the CG4, and I think that is looking really nice. So I'm gonna put some face contouring here, click play, and click stop. As you can see, before and after of the face contour, I think it's looking really nice, but I'm gonna double click here and work with the highlights and the midtones just a little by making this look even better. And I'm gonna add just a little basic contrast on this portrait and go this by 22 and check out before and after of this entire process. Now zoom in. Here's the before, here's the after. Here's before and here's after retouch. Here's before and here's after retouch with color grade. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Please don't forget to check all the links in the description because you will find the raw file and the retouching actions. And see you guys in the next one. Peace.